performance against Burnley, didn't play very well, but then scored. But I do wonder, maybe because I mean, I'm the same. Like whenever I hear he's going to play on the left, I get frustrated. Why is he doing that? He's not good in that position.
I don't.
And then I see, that he had that moment against Burnley, didn't he? He ran down the outside, putting a crossing on his left foot, and it went straight out for a goal kick. I'm like, oh, this is why I don't want him on the left. But then, he makes that run, and he's all of a sudden within a flash, he's in on goal, and it's a good finish. And that's what you can do. And look, if he wanted him at Brentford, didn't he? And I'm guessing his idea for him at Brentford was probably to play on the left, wasn't it? That's probably what his idea was. And maybe it's just a time thing. Give him a bit more time on the left, get him a bit more practice, and maybe he can start to develop in that position. The problem I have with him on the left is, how when Odegaard plays in that position, he's got that like very quick change in body direction. He's very flexible in that element. He can go both ways. I feel like Brennan's just such a straight line runner.
Yeah.
And that can be a problem if you're looking to quickly change direction or cut inside and play in these little tight areas. He doesn't like doing that, does he? But maybe it's a case of when the fixture fits it, he can do well in that position. I just want to touch on before we end it, Thomas Frank. His early days, first two competitive games, PSG and Burnley, two very different systems, two very different approaches. What are your early impressions of Thomas Frank and the job he's done so far? I mean, obviously, you can't make too many conclusions about how good a job he's doing, but what would you say your early impressions of him after two games?
Yeah, really good. I'm really happy. I'm trying to stay balanced because I don't want to get caught in the new manager trap again of just like getting excited.
Everything's amazing,
this manager's so much better than the last manager. Look at what he does that one doesn't do. And then, a year later he's gone or whatever. But the switch up from PSG to Burnley was just amazing. Like seeing us play two completely different styles of football, like down to the minute details. Like I think Sky were covering it, the way that it was match of the day, I think, where we split the centre backs against Burnley. Whereas we were keeping them tight and narrow against PSG, and that was to part their front two. Like this guy thinks about every single detail, and I'm just loving it so far. I really think this guy has a high ceiling, and that is part of the reason why I'm getting so stressed about this transfer window, because if we get the players that we are linked to, I think we could shock a lot of people this season. Like I honestly think that with those two players through the door, Eze and Savinho, I think we'll finish top 5.
Really?
Yeah, if we have those two players, I think, because there's always a surprise duds in the top 4. Like there's someone drops down or whatever. And I just feel like, I feel like
we said our 5th place is up for grabs, isn't it? Let's be honest, that 5th place.
Yeah,
it's very much up for grabs. No one's really. You got Newcastle and Villa who have their own issues. I guess you can put United in that conversation, but obviously they also have to make a big jump just like we do. And I think they've really improved the front three, but apart from that, the rest of the team still leaves a lot to be desired, I feel, with them as well. So, they're by no means guaranteed that 5th spot as much as they're, put them in the race. Then you're looking at outside shots like Brighton and Bournemouth and whoever else you might say. So that 5th place is very much up for grabs for whoever grabs it, like whoever's consistent. And I agree with you. If we can get those couple of signings, I think we can definitely snatch that 5th place. Definitely put ourselves in a position where we're favourites for it. Beyond that, going to be, still might be difficult.
Look, I'll just say this now. I don't care if people remind me of this in 6 months' time or whatever, because I always do it to everyone else. Remember, I was always telling you how much better Chelsea are than us. Back before they had proved that they were better than us. I believe that if we get these two signings, I do think there is a chance we could finish above Chelsea. I actually do. Because when you look at their squad, it's much better than ours. Their first 11 is better than ours, but I'm not sure their first 11 is that much better than ours if we get these two signings in. I'm not actually sure. that it is that much better than ours. It's, you know, if we have a
If you look
fully
at
fit,
their backline is,
their backline's not better than ours.
With Colwell injured as well, and they're not, if they don't sign one.
And I back Frank over Maresca, so that's why I would say that. That's why I was like 5th minimum, because, you know, and this is all to do with fitness and how things go, and do we actually make these signings and all that sort of stuff. All I'm saying is, if we sign those 2 players, I do think there's a chance we could finish above Chelsea. So 4th, that would be our ceiling for me.
What about the red side of North London?
They get too many Stoke United points, don't they?
Oh yeah, 100%. In my view, in terms of, you know, Frank's early days, I was in pre-season. I think I was kind of impressed with a lot of things, like how quickly it improved us from set pieces, how quickly a lot of the defensive organization had improved. I would say I was a bit frustrated with the lack of an ability to create chances from open play. That was kind of frustrating me. But I have to say, in the first 2 games, I know Burnley wasn't the perfect game, and it wasn't like we ripped them to shreds, but it turned out to be quite a simple win. Like it turned out to be quite a simple win, even though we didn't play well, which is like something to be commended. And I think the very fact that in his first 2 games, he's played 2 different formations, he's had 2 different approaches completely. One, we're counter-attacking, playing long, like I think 90% of our goal kicks were long balls. We're relying heavily on set pieces. We're being very compact, and we're playing, you know, a brilliant team, and we're able to, you know, nearly should have won that game. And then in the very next game, we play a 4-2-3-1. I think 90% of our goal kicks are now short. We're as you say, we're stretching the game. I think, what was it? The second goal we scored was 17 passes with 11 players, all 11 players being used, very much playing really decent football at times, albeit it was stodgy at times as well. I think, considering that's our first 2 games, that is impressive. I would say that is impressive that we're able to show that early on. And he's able to show not only tactical flexibility, but the players are able to show they can take on these instructions and implement it quite quickly. And I think the more the players get used to that, and the more time he gets with them, I think it's only going to improve. That's only going to become, you know, second nature to the players. And that, I have to say, is very impressive of Thomas Frank. And yes, I think I still want to see more creativity. I still want to see more chances created, and I still want to see more of an ability to maybe sustain pressure. I feel like we very much are very direct at the moment, and when we're not direct, like, we struggle sometimes to sustain a bit of pressure in their half, and we need to work on that. But, you know, if we get Eze and Savino, that will come. I agree with that, and I think early impressions are really positive from Thomas Frank. Yeah, I agree with that. So there's a lot to be excited about. But look, Josh, appreciate your time, mate. Thanks for coming on for the first panel show of the season. We'll keep you all updated with all the saga that's going on with Eberechi Eze, and any news updates, and obviously all the preview stuff coming up for Man City on the weekend. But yeah, we'll see you very soon. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on,
you Spurs.